Hi Aquarius, welcome to your November 2019 tarot card reading. Thank you so much for being here. Now I'm doing something a little different just because this Mercury retrograde is messing with me just a little bit. I pre-pulled all the cards. So I just sat here for like 10 minutes and shuffled and got all the cards in order. So I'm just going to go ahead and just jump right in, okay? So there won't be all this time wasted shuffling. So the very first card that came out, which indicates your energy, Aquarius, is the Queen of Swords, which we love for an Aquarian energy, right? Because it's air, it's elevated, it's highly intelligent at this time. And I think a Mercury retrograde really opens a lot of doors for the air signs, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, because you then kind of open up this innovative, inventive sort of part of your mind that can usually be very linear in nature, right? It's very, clear and very high quality, linear thought. And now it's time for you to think in a little bit more of a feminine way, as we see with the Queen of Swords. So still highly creative, which you are, highly inventive, which you are, but it's going to be opening up new kind of levels of consciousness, which is very exciting. There's also a nature of you having to balance something out, all right? This is actually a card of Libra. So when we have that the Venus energy associated with justice and balance and all of that, I think this is kind of also the fallout of Libra season as we make our way into Scorpio season, where the balancing out actually really starts to happen, and we find new levels of clarity about a lot of things. And then the environment in which you're operating, Aquarius, is actually indicated with the Lovers card. So here we have this beautiful Queen of Swords looking straight at the Lovers. And yes, there can be romance for you. And even though a lot of the stars right now are in, like I'm just kind of looking at the stars now, right? We have a lot of second hemisphere or upper hemisphere activity, right? Mars, the Sun, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, all in your like 9th through 12th houses. So it's a lot of second hemisphere stuff. It has a lot to do with you and other people and you and your relationships to other people. But I also feel like there is this one-on-one quality and that there is someone very special, which we'll see as the Emperor coming out here in just very shortly, that there is you and someone, and for whatever reason, this particular person seems to be really outshining your old life, like your old patterns, your old who you used to be. And I think that is your other half. Now, it doesn't have to be romantic, right? Soulmates come in all shapes and sizes. The Emperor can also relate to a situation or a business or some structure that you are trying to build. And in a way, it is because of that person or thing that you then are able to redefine and re-identify who you truly are. The Lovers is a card of communication, right? It is connected with the sign of Gemini. So there's Mercury retrograde, right? So there are open lines of communication. There are people who really want to talk to you, and you really want to talk to them. And there seems to be a heart-warming energy with what's going on with you and another person. But really what it is Aquarian's heart is opening big time, right? Your heart is just expanding and it's getting bigger. And that is, part of what we would call an ascension, right? You are growing and you are becoming more and more compassionate as you shed a lot of the past restrictions. Now, this Queen of Swords is also actually looking straight at, as we get into the kind of the smaller 9-card block, she's looking straight at her 10 of Swords and making sense of her 10 of Swords. She's making sense of her limitations. She's making sense of the things that are just played out. That's the only word it's just like played. It's so tired. For some reason, the 10 of Swords to me this month is really speaking in the realm of martyrdom, the victimhood, playing like the oh, poor me kind of game. And I think your clarity on the things in your life, whatever they are, I don't think you want to play that game with yourself. But you're kind of staring at that in the face and saying, well, if I continue to do this I continue to stay in that relationship, or I continue to try in this capacity, or I continue to put forth effort in this thing, then I am just playing the victim here. And I do kind of deserve what I get at that point because I'm just doing it to myself. And I know that you're surpassing that. That's kind of the beautiful thing about Scorpio season. It is that crash and burn quality, which means that this Ten of Swords simply cannot continue. It is the time where this Ten of Swords structure comes crashing down, all right? It's the season of death. It's the season of where the leaves fall off the trees. It's the season where the tower, boom, cuts down the structure. Or the lightning cuts down the tower, rather. All right, so Ten of Swords is not scary. It's liberating. All right, it's truly liberating. And what's just on the other side of that Ten of Swords is what I just said. It's the Emperor. This is the shining beacon. So what I'm feeling is like the karate block, right? When the karate people, they chop the wood block. Well, the kind of mentality and the sort of thought processes that goes on behind that is you have to kind of not look at the wood block, but you look at what's on the other side of the wood block. If you ever want to get past the barrier, you have to aim for what's behind it. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking is you are aiming for the Emperor, and therefore you will karate chop that Ten of Swords. Like, that's a guarantee. You will karate chop it, and it will come crashing down because the Emperor is fierce. And this could be a lover, of course, as we have the Lover's card. It can be someone that you really, truly care about. And in a way, I'm seeing a theme of earth angels coming out. I saw it for the Capricorn reading, and now I'm seeing it for you. I do believe that our earth angels, who have no idea like what they really are, they are full force on the front lines. Okay, and in a way, this person is like a savior for some of you. This person saves you from yourself. It saves you from your past. It saves you from, everything that you ever wanted to be, or everything you didn't really want to be. And the Emperor could also be a part of you. So it could just be you and you. All right, it doesn't have to be another person. If you feel like this is you and you're cross-watching for an Aquarius and you are the Emperor here and your Aquarius is not really seeing you for what it is, what's happening is they are getting caught here, and that's perfectly within their jurisdiction, if you will. It's perfectly fine. It's their journey, it's their path, it's whatever. So there's no need to fight. Now is a time where if your Aquarius really wants to be with you, they are going to make the effort to be with you. And if they don't, just leave it alone, all right? It's not your job. So, but still, like, there is still a guidance. There is still this beacon quality radiating from the Emperor. Why do I say that? Because he comes out directly before the Chariot card. He seems to be the leader of the Chariot, the leader of the path. Aquarius, if you have someone in your life or something you're trying to build or create, okay, this is going to take you places. It's going to give you money. It's going to give you travel opportunities. It's going to give you just a whole bunch of really amazing new experiences that you never really thought could be. This could even be, pregnancy for some of you. I am kind of getting that vibe. This could be an aspect of like a new client coming on board, or just like a whole new, completely different kind of deal, whatever that means. Whole new, completely kind of deal. It's like the for real deal. Chariot is a card of our ascension, connection with our higher self and our own divinity. The Chariot has a lot to do with the alignment, okay? And it doesn't necessarily have to do with what we are supposed to do or with our mission, if you will, but rather just sort of realigning with the bigness of our soul so that we really know what we're capable of. I don't know that Aquarius is going to be putting forth a ton of effort in a lot of stuff, with the exception of crossing over that Ten of Swords, okay, breaking the karmic cycle, but it's not really about reestablishing new karmic cycles. It's about breaking free from karma altogether, okay? So, there's good stuff here. And you have to care about yourself enough to really want it. If you don't care enough about yourself to really want it, then enjoy your Ten of Swords, right? And a lot of you are going to be dealing with Aquarians who, they're just going to sit in their Ten of Swords. That's it. But most of you watching, I think that's not what you really want. No one really wants to be here. You want to break free and get the new Ace of Swords and kind of start over, right? And the Nine of Cups means how much, you have to care about yourself enough to break past that barrier. You have to care about yourself. You have to love yourself enough. So the real test comes. How much are you going to put yourself first? Aquarians can struggle with putting themselves first. It's a very self-sacrificing kind of sign because it's the essence of you within the greater good. It's not like a Leo quality that's always me, 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 me. So it can be very self-sacrificial very easily, Aquarians. But now it's not now is not the time for that. It's 10th house activity for y'all. So 10th house is not about self-sacrificing. This is about you, your path, your direction. Okay? You can make a contribution to humanity. You can still be productive and help and affect people in a positive way, but it's not really about them. All right, in order to help others, you need to help yourself. That's why the Nine of Cups, I'm sorry. And you're getting a lot of cups coming out here, actually, which we'll see. So this is about your heart. In the very center of the reading, we have the Page of Coins reversed. Now, what this tells me is that it's not really the best time to expect anything from anybody else. It's not the best time to expect the apologies or the offers. And as much as I, just said the Chariot is very much about things coming into you, you have to get on the Chariot first. And I think Scorpio season and the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, and then later on, as Mars enters into Scorpio in late November, Sun enters Sagittarius, that's going to be the time when I think you're really going to start feeling the Chariot in motion. Right now, it's about you getting on the Chariot and away from the Ten of Swords. So the Page of Coins is primed, it's prepped, it's totally ready to go. The offer, the money, the client, the lover, the whatever, it's totally ready to go. But you got to get on the Chariot first, okay? And again, that Emperor is very much an earth angel, and this is I think the motivation to get you past that barrier. It's the karate chop. Page of Coins is there. It's there. It's the only reverse card in the whole reading, Page of Coins. All right? So that indicates to me solely that it's on hold. That's it. So don't expect it to come through. If it does, then you're very, very lucky. But if it doesn't, it's completely okay. Because what I suspect, and we'll see here in just a minute as I keep going here, underneath the Chariot is the Eight of Cups, okay? So we know that the Eight of Cups is about moving away from something that's comfortable, something that's familiar. And in order to do that, we have to forgive ourselves first and foremost. We have to forgive ourselves for doing certain things and for saying certain things. And we have to forgive others. And we have to truly exhibit the essence of compassion, which is hard to be a compassionate person. That's not an easy thing to do, especially because Aquarians, there is this quality of perfection and wanting the best of the best from ourselves and from other people. I think the perfection aspect is very similar to Virgo in that regard, but Aquarius is even a higher ideal. And you have to forgive yourself for maybe not meeting certain things, and to relax and to release certain expectations. That's why Page of Coins reverse. It's not about expectation. It's not about expecting anything from anybody. Because when you start expecting things, that's when the Ten of Swords kind of has its power, gets its power back. Okay, this is about flow and fluidity, but action and ambition to move past any kind of sadness or grief or disappointment or whatever. So you are going to have to head into that kind of dark moonlight there. But I'll tell you that this moonlight is very short-lived. This is a very quick dip on the radar. You're not going to be there long at all. All right? You're not going to be long. It's almost as though you are you're getting on the chariot like the hour before it starts to get light. All right? So it's like the witching period. It's like 4 a.m. It's not light outside yet, but like you know that it's truly right around the corner. I say that because the sun comes out in the next row. That's why I'm saying it. And the Knight of Cups is optimistic about where it's going. It's optimistic about, okay, I know the sun's coming up. I know it's only if it's 4 a.m., right? So the sun's going to come up in an hour. I'm going to start seeing light. And so let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. The enthusiasm is going to be important. You know, if you're in a relationship, this is you getting to the nitty gritty and having those difficult conversations, because it's truly just like ripping off a Band-Aid. It's not painful. Like we think it's going to be this whole big thing and then it's not. And you're like, oh, that wasn't bad. Why did I put that off? It's not bad. It's healing. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Right? Rip off the Band-Aid. Your heart is leading you in a beautiful direction, so there's no reason you shouldn't be following it. And the last card we get, Ace of Cups. So the essence of this reading, as is for every single reading this month, is about endings and beginnings. Things are ending, and as soon as something ends, something begins. Like very quick turnaround. The Ace of Cups, is about love. It's about joy and emotional fulfillment. It's about satisfaction. The Chariot, that's where it wants you to be. It wants you to be satisfied. It wants you to feel fulfilled. It wants you to really, truly enjoy this existence, to the fullest, fullest, fullest. It wants you to feel every emotion. It wants you to feel all of the ups and the downs, and it wants you to use your mind, and it wants you to connect with your body. It wants all of the whole experience to happen. So what's happening is you're moving toward a more all-encompassing existence. And that's why material goals and all of these, they're neither good nor bad. So you don't need to prioritize them or deprioritize them. It's just do what you want to do. It's very relaxed. It is, it's very relaxed. But you can't reach the Ace of Cups with the Sun until you're perfectly willing to take a little bit of a deep dive into the ocean, It's you got to dive through the ocean in order to find the chest of gold, right? And that's exactly what's at the bottom of the ocean. The bottom of the reading is the sun. You got to put on that scuba gear and get down to the nitty gritty and go into that deep sea water cave if you want to find the treasure, all right? It's right there. You know exactly where it is. Let's go ahead and put the camera down and let's start pulling clarifiers. So if you want to join me for the comprehensive, you are more than welcome. The link will be down in the description box down below. I'll show you what cards we're going to talk about. And that's it. I hope you guys have an excellent Scorpio season. I wish you nothing but the best. All right? Take care. Okay, Aquarius. Let's look at the Queen of Swords briefly with a couple of oracle cards. Let's start off with an astrology card to give us some fuel for the essence of the Queen. Let's see what comes through here. Okay, Jupiter. Yeah, see, this is what it's all about. I love the Jupiter energy with the Chariot. It's about expansion with the Sun as well. This is an expansive reading, okay? So it's about karate chopping the limitation to experience the expansion. Now let's talk about Jupiter for a second, because Jupiter right now, as we know, is in Sagittarius, which for you is in your natural 11th house. So there has been a lot of growth and, especially change in your friend groups, because you're coming into understanding, valuable relationships versus invaluable relationships. But as Jupiter makes his way into your 12th house, this is a deeply spiritual transit, which is so incredibly beautiful because it comes home, right? 12th house is home for Jupiter. And it has this essence of truly connecting with the oneness, truly connecting with what's possible, right? The motto for the 12th house is I believe. The motto for Jupiter, like with the Sagittarian archetype, is I know, okay, or I see, rather, connected with the crown chakra. So there's this extraordinarily high level of understanding of the meaning of life. And with that comes actual physical abundance. Let's not just only keep this in the spiritual context, which I tend to do, unfortunately, but like let's talk about it in the world, right? Because Jupiter is about money. It is about travel. It is about higher level education. It is about understanding. And it is about true connection. Okay, so this is kind of where the Queen of Swords is coming from, which is a beautiful motivator to get her through this very temporary, very kind of in a weird way. I do want to use the word easy. It's an easy obstacle. It could be way worse, right? It's just one karate chop is all it takes. Then all of a sudden, all this abundance down here begins to really take shape. And I think it's going to happen rapidly, right? As we approach the eclipses and the Pluto-Saturn conjunction in your 12th house. In January, after that, it starts to really like take the whole new kind of direction, which is very, very welcome. Your dreams need a practical plan. What did I just say? We have to bring it into I have to bring it into the practical world. Yeah. And in order to develop the practical plan, you do have to eliminate all the reasons why it won't work. All the reasons why you can't get married, all the reasons why you can't build that business, all the reasons why it's not going to work out. Right? You got to eliminate that limited thinking, those limited beliefs. You have to step into the idealistic realm because the dreams and the imagination is where manifestation really begins. And I'm telling you that whatever you start to imagine now has an incredibly high potentiality for coming into your reality, as we see with the Sun and the Ace of Cups down there. So especially if you're wanting a romantic partnership, the energy is prime for that, okay? Let's take a little closer look at the Queen of Swords as we have a Temperance energy, beautiful, very calm, you know? Oh, amazing, amazing. It might take a few karate chops to get it, but all it takes is one to break it. That very pain is the very source of your joy. One more for that, Ten of Swords. One more for the Ten of Swords. Okay. Let's look at the Emperor. Ooh, a King of Swords. King of Swords, Queen of Swords. What is that, a perfect match or what? These are the cards we'll talk about in the comprehensive, by the way. We'll usually talk for another 20 to 25 minutes in that reading. And that link will be found in the description box down below. In order to get on the Chariot, you have to put yourself first. You have to prioritize yourself. You may have an external motivator like an Emperor to kind of get you on that path, but ultimately this is all you. Everything weighs on your shoulders. Ooh, Ten of Swords reversed. There we go. That's the falling out of the swords. Another Knight of Cups. See, the moon is setting. Double sun energy. Come on, guys. This is super exciting. Beautiful. So much success for you. I can't even believe this. Oh. Okay, 8 of Wands. One more for the center. 8 of Cups. Let's take a look at that. There's resistance on this journey, which is why it is advisable to not overthink this too much. Yeah, just a little too much overthinking, I think. But I think that's real easy to overcome, especially if you lean on your Emperor for advice, if you lean on your Emperor for a helping hand, right? Your angel. Okay, for those of you looking for a romantic relationship, this could absolutely be the time that you fall madly in love. You fall madly in love. What is it? Too good to be true? Is that what it is? Is that the problem? It's too good to be true. It makes you too happy. Another Emperor, another 9 of Cups. All right. Lots to talk about, but really, really positive stuff. I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you so much. If you want to join me for the comprehensive, link will be down below. All right. Thanks so much. Take care.